My name's Andy Christofides. I'm the pastor, the minister at St Mellons Baptist Church, and here's something of my brief story of how I came to faith in Jesus. At the age of 17, I'd have said that I decided there wasn't a God. I was an atheist. Something had happened. My 8-year-old brother, who'd battled with leukemia for a number of years, finally died, and any thought that there was a good God around fled from my mind, and I decided there wasn't a God. I went off to Cardiff University at the age of 18 to study chemistry, and I enjoyed my life there. I met a good group of friends and enjoyed my student life very much. At the end of the first year, I spent my holiday period in Australia. My grandparents lived on the Gold Coast in Australia, and I went to visit them. In the nearby city of Brisbane, my auntie and her 2 boys lived. The lads were Mark and Grant, both about my age, one slightly younger, one slightly older, and they'd recently been converted. They'd had quite a wild background into drugs and drinking and wild living, but we'd had news before I went to Australia that they'd seen the light, as it were, and they'd become Christians, and this intrigued me. I went to stay with my auntie and these 2 lads, and they told me about their experience of meeting Jesus and how he'd changed their lives completely. I was amazed at the transformation in them. They'd read the Bible, they seemed to believe it, they prayed, they expected answers. There are many things I could say about answered prayer that I witnessed in their lives. I went to their church. It was quite a charismatic church in its expression. I didn't enjoy it at all. I was talking with folks there about my belief in evolution and Big Bang and science. And one man there said to me, well, look, all these arguments, put them to one side. The Bible's all about Jesus Christ. If you can settle who he is, that's the most important thing. Look at the Gospels. Well, I think that was helpful. About a month before I was due to come back to Cardiff, we were out one Sunday afternoon playing Aussie rules football, and around about 5 o'clock my cousins said, right, it's time to go to church. I said, well, I don't want to go, take me home first. No, it's too far to take you home. You got to walk home or come with us. It was too far to walk, so I had to go with them. I thought, well, look, I'm a scientist. Let's do an experiment. And here's what happened. Before I went into the church, I prayed a prayer. God, if you are there, it's obviously important, and I'd like to know if you are real. And during that service, all that was going on, the guy at the front began to preach, and suddenly it was like seeing a jigsaw puzzle coming together. It's like seeing a fog lifting. There was a God. Why didn't I know him? He's holy and pure and righteous, and I'm a sinner in what I do and what I think and what I say, and my sin became very, very obvious. And I saw the wonder of Jesus Christ, who bridged the gap between me and God. He's God who became a man. He lived a perfect life for me. He died to pay the price for my sin. He rose again to show it's all true. And it all became clear. I suddenly found myself believing. At the end of the service, they had a big appeal. If anyone wants to receive Christ as their saviour, please come forward. And to my cousin's amazement, I was sat between them. I got up and walked out. Now, it wasn't going to the front that saved me. I was saved right where I was sitting. But going to the front certainly nailed my colours to the mast. What a change in my life. It's 44 years later, and I can say God has radically changed my life. Jesus is everything. He's the centre and the focus. I'm married, there are 6 children, 11 grandchildren. I'm a minister of a Baptist church, but the centre of my life is Jesus Christ. And I know that when I die, I'm going to heaven, not because of what I have done, but all because of what Jesus has done for me. It'd be great to see you at St Mellons Baptist Church sometime. If you want to drop me a line, you'll find my details on the church website, St Mellons Baptist Church.